Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Gorachandraya Radhikaye Tadaraye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Today we'll see what symbols for Brahman are. Last time it was about the universal form, how Brahman is everywhere in the universe as Antaryamin. And today we see different symbols used for describing impersonal Brahman. If you want to conceive, this is for beginners, if you want to conceive impersonal Brahman, then the first example is akasha. The Sutra reads akasha stalingat. Space is Brahman because it has the lingat, which means a characteristic. But we can also translate linga as a symbol. For example, Shiva Linga, everybody knows what Shiva Linga is, but Shiva Linga is not Shiva, it is a linga, meaning a symbol of Shiva. Shiva, who is creating the material world in accordance with Mahavishnu. So a linga, a symbol, there is nothing wrong with symbol. Sometimes devotees think that a symbol, if we speak about a symbol, it means something which is of less importance. But actually a symbol means to join together. It is the opposite of, in Greek, symbolos is the opposite of diabolos. Diabolos, or the devil, means to divide, and symbolos means to join. What is what it is that it is joining together? Well, a sign, for example, like Shiva Linga, with an understanding or an abstract reality. So swastika, for example, is a symbol. Swastika comes from the word su, meaning good, asti, the verb asti, as, to be. So this is a very good thing, very good life. Most people in the West, when you show them a swastika, they think of Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. But actually this is the way of not understanding a symbol, because Adolf Hitler took that from India, and of course it was not so good. Swasti was not really good for people, because he was of evil intention. But it is a symbol showing the four directions, showing that there's also like a cross in the center. We have to, and also a wheel that it is going around like this way, and this is swastik, like this is going to bring good result. So similarly, akasha is not Brahman. When you look at the sky, this is not Brahman. This is a material element, but it is a sign to make us understand Brahman, because it shows infinity. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Jeva Dharma is saying, we may say that Brahman is all-pervading, but how can our minds actually conceive of this? We will be forced to think of it in terms of the all-pervasiveness of the sky. How can the mind go beyond this consideration? Our conception of Brahman is therefore constrained by the limitation of material space. Space means vast. It is, when we look into space, when we look in the sky, like in a very starry night where there's all many stars in the sky, and it's a very beautiful night in the summer, and we see so many points in the sky, we have this feeling of infinity. Same thing with the line on the horizon. There's an intuition that actually something is beyond this line, but we don't know what, because it is so far away. And horizon doesn't really exist. It is our perception of it. So therefore, this giving us some intuition of what infinity is. Space is often compared to God or Brahman, sometimes for teenagers who don't have much conception of God. I tell them, try to think of the cosmos. What is the limit of the cosmos? And if you can think of the limit of the cosmos, what lies beyond? Our mind cannot even conceive of this. And this is a material thing. We cannot even conceive. That's why some materialists, they think that the cosmos is divine. But here, Srila Vyasadeva is not saying that the cosmos is Brahman. It is not something like pantheism, where God is in nature. No, it is the opposite. Nature is in God. So this is a way to make us understand that Brahman is all pervasive. Then this is also relating to Vishnu, because Vishnu comes from the root verbal root vishnati, to penetrate, to pervade everything. Yattad vishato bhavati vishnur bhavati. This is the definition in the Nirukta dictionary by Yaska. He's saying that Vishnu is penetrating everything. That is why he's called Vishnu. But Vasudeva also has the same meaning. It comes from the verbal root vas, to reside. Vasudeva means he's in everything. He pervades everything. Narayan also. One of the meaning of Narayan, all the Nara, the human beings reside ayana in him. So he's a resting place of all the human beings. Also it means the resting place of the water. The man who is the resting place of the water, because Narayan is lying in this causal ocean. So this is one symbol for Brahman, akasha lingat. Then the second symbol that Vyasadeva is giving in the Brahma Sutra is the light. Jyotis sharana bidanat. Light is Brahman because it has 4 feet. So what are those 4 feet? It refers to the Brahman being fourfold. There's threefold pertaining to Brahman itself, and one fold is the material world. Tripad vibhuti, ekpad vibhuti. This material world is only 1/4 of the total reality. But there is an explanation for this, which I'm not going to go into, but you can inquire if you want about why they call 1/4 and 3/4. So this is one way of understanding light. Light is a symbol also, meaning not the material light. If you want to have plain reality, no symbol, then you say light is Brahman, but that is not true. It is not the light that we see that is Brahman, because the Upanishads are telling us the sunshine and the moonshine comes from that Brahman. Even the stars and the luminaries and electricities and fire come from that Brahman. That actually the light of light, Jyotisham, Jyotish, is Brahman. It is that light of Brahman, Brahma Jyoti, that makes the sun bright and the moon also shine, and the stars and the fire and the electricity and everything that we see as light is coming from that Brahman. So don't make the mistake saying that space is Brahman or fire is Brahman. No, those are material examples to indicate that it is the source of all. There's another space which is completely unknown. Like I said, on the line of the horizon, you have the sentiment that it doesn't end, but there's something beyond. Similarly, in the cosmos, when you look at all the stars in the sky, you feel like there must be an end to this cosmos, but how can I imagine? So this is in God. God is beyond space, and He is the light of light. And this is the way we can understand also for those who are fully awakened. For those who are fully spiritually awakened, then for them the Upanishad is saying it is always eternal day. There's neither day or night. It is always bright. So they are walking in eternal day. And this is the symbol for being awakened. So we have akasha, which means space or ether, or we have also everything rests in ether, everything also light of this world. If there was no light, then everything would be in darkness. Srila Prabhupada, when he shows the empty sky, the dark sky, he says this is a natural color of this material world, black, darkness. Light comes from God. So every time the sun is going to rise, the birds are chirping, they are so happy. And we are so happy when there's sun. It is proven actually that those who live in a very warm country where the sun is shining are more happy than those who live in countries where there's always dark and little sun. In some countries there's a long winter and days are very short in the summer, in the winter I mean, and they suffer from depression. And sometimes they have some artificial light that you can put at home in order to have some kind of light. So light is Brahman, but not a material light. Light comes from Brahman. It is above, beyond this light. Then the third symbol that is given in the Brahma Sutra, this is one sutra after the other, it is Prana, that is life breath. Ataiva Prana, says the Brahma Sutra. Vital breath is Brahman. And Upanishad also is saying, Shandogya Upanishad is saying, all these beings are born from Prana, maintain into Prana and enter into Prana. Prana is life. In the Bible it is said that God, He puts His breath into the man and he becomes a living soul. So the living soul is made out of breath, divine breath that comes from God. Pranasya prana, it is also not the ordinary breathing that is God, but the breath of that breath. It is in the Koshit, another sutra following this is talking about how Indra is saying to the gods, meditate on me and the prana. Prana tatanu gamat, said the Brahma Sutra, and in Koshtikati Brahmana Upanishad, Indra is saying, I am Brahma, I am breath, prana, and this prana is the discerning self, pragyatma. Think of me as life and immortality. So our commentators, Shankaracharya and Shripad Ramanujacharya and Shripad Madhvacharya, Srila Bharadev Vidyabhushana, they're all saying that actually it is not Indra that we should meditate on, but the breath that is within Indra, the prana. It is Indra prana we meditate on and not Indra, meaning Antaryamin, meaning Paramatma. We have to meditate on this. Similarly, they also quote another incident in the Veda where there's a sage called Brahmana, and he realized that he's everything, all the gods, the sun, the moon, and he's saying Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. So this Aham Brahmasmi, just like Indra Prana, means that there's Brahman everywhere and I am part of this, but I am not this Brahman. This Srila Prabhupada translates very simply, Aham Brahmasmi means I am spirit soul. I am not from this material world. So those are symbols for Brahman. The akasha mean that the space is symbolizing Brahma. When you look at space, you have a sentiment of infinity. Then light or jyotis, then you have a sentiment of seeing the fire, for example, as something very divine. The light, the fire, and finally prana. Prana means the breath, and if you could go without food for a few days, even for a few weeks, but you cannot go without breathing for more than a few seconds, few minutes. It is impossible. This is what sustains life, prana. So those are examples. For those who are beginners and don't believe in anything, they can meditate on this simple thing to understand that Brahman, the Great, is beyond us, and that will allow our spiritual life to begin. This is the idea of the Vedanta Sutra. Panchakalpa tarubhya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.